anxious about Nigeria, very concerned at the direction in which we're going, very concerned about the inappropriate leadership that we had. And the main problem with the leadership in Nigeria is that they show very little concern for the people, and they show very little concern for the real development of Nigeria. And most of the time, it's a quest for power, control, dominion, and for them to live their own kinds of lifestyle. So I was very, very concerned. I was also not satisfied with the performance of both parties. Okay. When the PDP were ruling, most of whom are also my friends, they didn't do well. They could have done much better. So we were part of the vanguard that said, okay, let us try APC and let us give Muhammadu Buhari a chance. Muhammadu Buhari came in with APC, and they seem to have even done worse than the PDP did. For example, the PDP left our Naira at 150 200 to 1. The same Naira has gone to 800 to 1 or 750 to 1. The universities were shut for 8 months. Thereabouts, nothing was happening. The economy wasn't moving at all. Everywhere was stifled. What was most disturbing was that you didn't even know who was in control of the government, because a lot of the time the president seemed a little bit aloof or absent. So it was a great source of concern having 20 million children out of school, and nobody seems to be bothered. And then the huge state of insecurity all over the place, bandits, Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, Chibok girls not being released, and everything. It was as though the country was drifting. I then said to myself that maybe we needed a fresh set of leaders completely, neither of these two traditional parties. And if it was possible to have a group of Nigerians come together and offer themselves to genuinely lead Nigeria as a third force or a big tent, as Dr. Tommy calls it. And so Dr. Tommy and I got together, we started discussing, I started talking and consulting widely with a lot of people, both the elderly Nigerians, the younger ones, the ones of our generation. One thing kept on ringing clear. A lot of them were wringing their hands. They didn't seem to know what to do. You know, the second thing is that very few of them could unite and come together and speak with one voice. You know, the third was that a lot of people were afraid of government and ruffling the feathers of whosoever was in government. They just wanted to mind their business and face their businesses and not get into and not have an opinion and all that. And then what was most disturbing was the amount of selfishness, average self-centeredness of the Nigerians. And then even those who were trying to run different organizations, they didn't want to combine. Everybody wanted to be president. Everybody wanted to be governor. Everybody wanted to take a position. And these people, you could see clearly, they may have the intelligence and the capacity, but they don't have the resource. They don't have the network, the network. They don't have the footprint on the ground. And some don't have the experience. But everybody wants to be president. How can you have 18 people who want all to be president of Nigeria? And most of them, the party is very small, the footprint is very small. Why can't these people come together? Most of them say, no, we'll run our race, we'll do it by ourselves. And if people don't unite and face a common issue, and our enemy in Nigeria is the economy, is the insecurity, is the leadership that is not doing what it should do, but still everybody wants to be president. Everybody cannot be president. So that got me a little bit weak, a little bit, I wouldn't say weak, I would say a little bit concerned, and it was like chasing a shadow and so on and so forth. And therefore, I decided to be more introspective and to think deeper and realize that the problem with Nigeria is not really the leadership. The problem with Nigeria is the average Nigerian, the selfishness, the greed, the corrupt tendencies of the average Nigerian. Therefore, the same Nigerians that are complaining about APC, PDP, if you give them half a chance at power, once they get there, they behave even worse because that innate attitude of self preservation, that innate desire to acquire and be all important and powerful has not been eroded out of their minds. So it took me to Romans chapter 12, 1 to 3. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I then kept quiet because I realized that Nigeria's problem was deeper than just a simple change of leadership. That the average leader or average Nigerian, with his present state of mind, if he comes into leadership, will do almost the same as others are doing. So we needed to go back to the drawing board. When Peter Obi then emerged, you know, again, it bothered me a little that Peter Obi emerged by sheer will and force and determination on his own part, not by a group of people sitting together and thinking that who really should we approach to come and lead Nigeria. Second Kings chapter 5 tells me that the whole of Israel gathered together, searched, and said David should be king because of his credentials, because of what he had done in the past, because of his background, because of what they considered his capacity. And they didn't make a mistake. To get Nigerians to come together collectively and agree that maybe Sheikh Kende should be the next president. Maybe Tunde Mohammed should be the next president. Maybe Emeka Abdullahi should be the next president because we have observed him. We have seen his antecedents. We think he's capable. Nigerians will never get that together like that. They will all want to be president. They will all want to run their race. And development cannot be established like that. Surely in this country, out of the 200 million of us, maybe 1,000, maybe even 1 million have the capacity. If you water down that million, you can narrow it down to the best 1,000. If you want to narrow that 1,000, you can narrow it down to the best 100. If you look at the 100, you can narrow it down to the best 5 and then take a decision and have your criteria of who would be a good leader, visionary, strong, physically strong, mentally capable, honest, corruption free, determined, experienced, hardworking, loves Nigeria, passionate about people. The Bible says that Jesus Christ went about doing good because he had compassion for the people. If you look at our leadership array and parade, very few of them have compassion for the people. You can't be a good leader if you're not compassionate about the people that you are leading. If you don't care about them, if you take their money, put it in for your personal use, you and your family, it's not going to work. So, of course, when Peter B emerged, he looked to me like the best of the array. And I said, well, now that we're not able to sit down and look at a critical scientific analysis of choosing a leader, maybe in the interim, stop that. Maybe we can try Peter. Seem to be the right age. He seemed to be the least corrupt. He seemed to be hardworking. Seemed to be trustworthy. So I gave him the support. And the elections turned out as they turned out. It was a bit disappointing that INEC could not keep his word. At the minimum, the immediate loading of believers onto the area. So the failure of INEC to keep to their word has now made the outcome of that election, both of them, a little bit not as dependable as we would have liked it. So for me, this is now a time for serious introspection. Can we really solve the problem of Nigeria? Can we really come together as Nigerians to work hard to make our leadership choices that will ensure that we move the country forward? Can we do it? Are we willing to do it? Or do we all just want to go to our tents and mind our business? We can all do that, but the country will not run itself. And one day it will run to a stop. Nigeria is like an old woman that is constantly being raped. And because she's still breathing and she's still producing some small milk, the rapists think that is okay. They do not know that consistent raping will eventually lead to death. As long as that old woman is there, this is okay. Or like an old horse that is able to move a few bags around, but you don't feed that horse well. You don't water the horse. You keep flogging the horse. The horse is still moving much slower than it was moving 60 years ago. But because it's still moving, you think you can keep moving this horse. Babangida said Nigeria defies explanation, but no country can continue the way Nigeria is going, especially a country that has so much potential in terms of physical resource and mental capacity. It's just like waste. And one day, if we don't arrest it, it will come to a natural stop by itself. And where will we all be? So we are concerned and thinking very deeply what role to play in Nigeria, how to, what to do to help Nigeria, how to appeal to Nigerians to help themselves. And have to look at the whole thing. Is there even a Nigeria? Because most people now they say, I'm first of all an Edo man if I'm a Nigerian. I'm first of all a Yoruba man if I'm a Nigerian. I'm first of all a Ibira man or a Bini man or a Hausa man or a Fulani before I'm a Nigerian. You can't build a Nigeria like that. We first of all have to be Nigerians who come from a stock and live somewhere, everywhere Nigeria belongs to us. I should to pick up my bags, head out to Port Harcourt and cast my lot there and be part of Port Harcourt society, pay my taxes there and contribute to the society. I should be able to do the same thing in Zamfara. They shouldn't tell me that because I don't originally come from Zamfara, I have no rights in Zamfara. That is building a nation. So the first discussion amongst us Nigerians is that do we want to build a nation?